The best question just came in that I have to just address before we go into the stages of soaking and the journey and things that you can do to achieve magnesium cell saturation faster. For those of you that don't know me, my name's Kristen. I've been talking about soaking in magnesium for the last 25 years, and it's so exciting that the science is finally showing that what you and I have known for a long time, soaking in magnesium, increases magnesium levels around your red blood cell instead of what an oral pill does, which is just Band-Aid approach. I was too sick for too long to do a Band-Aid approach. I wanted to feel better, and soaking in magnesium is where that foundation starts. So let's talk about the question that Journey just sent me. It was on mast cell activation. And this person had been diagnosed with mast cell activation. And so Journey reached out to me so that we could coordinate an answer that would really support that question that came in. And I realized I haven't talked about this, and health is currency. We must stay current. We hold on to those basics: good sunshine, water, sleep, food choices. Those are all a part of health. But we have to stay current too. And our grandparents didn't deal with mast cell activation and histamine issues. And they're all linked to migraines and gut issues. And so drop a note in the comments if you'd like me to do a live specifically on this. Does magnesium play a role in mast cell activation? Absolutely yes, because here's what happens. When your magnesium goes low and stays low for a very long time, and then on top of it, you add nervous system dysregulation, where your nervous system is in constant stress, the mast cell starts to fire more histamine. Now, we need a little bit of histamine. It's so important to help your brain regulate and your gut and so many things. But when the mast cell doesn't have enough magnesium to stop and balance the calcium, it releases too much histamine, cranking your inflammation through the roof. So mast cell activation and low magnesium go hand in hand. Oh, let me know if you want to dive deeper on that topic, because I think we could do a whole live just on that topic and some layers that you can add when histamine, mast cell activation, or migraines or gut issues or brain issues, because they're all connected and linked together. Today, I want to talk about the journey of soaking in magnesium, because sometimes we can get it in our heads that we start something and boom, immediate benefits happen. And I was talking yesterday, and the person, and I haven't asked them if I could share, so I'll just say the person to protect them, shared with me they saw a difference at 45 days. It was like, whoo, but regular periods kicked in at 90 days. Now imagine if that person's expectations would have been, hey, I soaked for a week and my periods are going to regulate. They would have been completely discouraged because it didn't happen until 90 days. You have to remember when you start, well, not have to, let me pull that back and use better phrasing. I think it's important for people to remember when they start soaking, a week's worth of soaking in magnesium from the best place, undiluted, never reconstituted from flakes. That's my promise to you on my magnesium, never diluted, never made from flakes, because magnesium that's been processed into flakes will never get you to cell saturation, which means you'll never get the full benefits of magnesium. And that's what I want, is the full benefits. And I think you might want the full benefits also if you're someone who wants to wake up in the morning feeling good, ready to start your day, and all the ideas that go through your mind, you want the energy to take action on them, not just have the ideas and be too tired. I lived that way for way too long. So, stage one, soaking in magnesium. Stage one is where you start soaking in magnesium, and some people will feel the benefit and feel really calm and relaxed, and they'll email or text or DM and say, "Oh, I slept so well." Fantastic. Many people don't experience anything day one or day two or day three. And here's what determines that: inflammation levels, vagal nerve function, and hydration. Those three things. Now, there are some others, but over the years, in my notes, I've have piles and piles of notes and binders in not binders, notebooks that stack well, so many notes. And those are the biggest three. So here's my thoughts on soaking in stage one. Typically, in stage one, you'll feel relaxed, and soaking at night is best because then you can go right to bed and enjoy the benefits of that deeper relaxation for your body to go into better REM sleep, which is that restorative sleep. There's different stages in our sleep. Now, our bodies are different. They're the same in some ways, but they're very different in other ways. You might get wired and almost a little anxious, and you might think, I hate this stuff. Why am I soaking in this? It aggravated my problems. I look at it a little differently, and let me share with you the filter I look at it through, because I've watched people experience that, and as I've been able to guide them through, they ended up feeling the most benefit of magnesium than any of my clients. And that is, they ask themselves, what is magnesium shining the light on? Why is it making me agitated? Typically, and remember, I'm not a doctor, I'm not diagnosing, I'm not telling you what to do, but typically it's a calcium excess. And so we need to get that balanced out. Adding potassium can really help with that. So making sure we're getting whole food sources of potassium, coconut water, avocados, white beans, things like that. Now, the fastest way to experience the benefits of of potassium is a liquid form. Coconut water would be the whole food form, but there's a synthetic form that you can add also, and that's cream of tartar. My mom used to use it in cookies. She'd make a snickerdoodle cookie that she needed that. It's also 1 teaspoon, about 500 milligrams of potassium, but it's synthetic. And so some people can only handle a teaspoon. I can handle 2 teaspoons, and then I get stomach upset. And it's very individual. So if you opt to go with the synthetic version for quick, fast, and easy, if you don't have coconut water in your fridge, then let's make sure that you're going low and slow to make sure you don't hit stomach issues. And so stage one typically is soaking at night, feeling that relaxation, and really nourishing your body. There are times that you soak in magnesium and you get agitated. Adding potassium seems to really help that, as I've monitored what people's experience have been. Now, sometimes you soak in magnesium in stage one and you don't, that relaxed. I think about like leaning back in the chair and your shoulders going from here down to here. And oh man, I'm ready for bed to sleep. That's relaxation. There's something else that can happen when you soak in magnesium, and magnesium will shine the light on this strongly the longer it's been going on in your body. So you soak in magnesium and you start to feel relaxed, and then it goes beyond relaxation, and it is an inability to even like move. It feels hard to even function. Your body's not firing. And over the years is what I've seen. And I'm not telling you this is you, sharing with you what I've seen. This is when someone is high cortisol, expects a lot of themselves, makes a difference in the lives of other people in a big kind of way. So they're helping other people all the time and a lot. And they have high cortisol, and their magnesium has been low for a very long time. And is what happens is your body will actually use potassium to try to take the role of magnesium. And if you're not getting enough potassium, and then you're already low in magnesium, your body's having to divide that potassium to carry too many plates. You add the magnesium in, and your body drops the potassium to run over, pick up the magnesium that it needs. And because you had potassium going to two places, your body was literally transmuting and changing the potassium and magnesium, and your potassium drops so low that the firing for muscles slows down. And so adding that potassium back in, and that's where that liquid potassium can literally, I've seen people go from, oh, how am I even going to make it to work, to drinking some potassium if appropriate for them, because there might be contraindications like medication or something in your body like kidney function that you can't do a lot of potassium. But if appropriate for you, adding that drink of potassium picks them right back up. So those are some of the things that I see in stage one. Now, in stage one, if you are not seeing the benefits, and you've been soaking a week, 2 weeks, you're like, this isn't making a difference. I see all these reviews on Kristen's website, and I hear my sister who was soaking and got such benefit, and I've been soaking too, and I'm not getting the benefit. The missing link for many, many, many people is taurine. And taurine helps you hold magnesium in the cell. And so if we have an imbalance, magnesium just gets pushed out really fast. So you're soaking in it, but it gets pushed out. And we want magnesium surrounding that cell so the cell can uptake magnesium whenever it needs. That way we don't have to worry about if we have this type of magnesium and that type of magnesium and this type of magnesium. Our cells have the magnesium they need, and they pull it up when needed in the amount that the body needs. It's a brilliant machine when it has the foundational pieces. Adding taurine will help you hold magnesium in the cell. Taurine is very easily found in supplement form, and again, it's synthetic because it's in supplemental form, and taking too much of it can halt thyroid function. And so low and slow, make sure it's appropriate for you if you opt to do this for yourself, because once you hit 1,500 to 2,000 milligrams, I see it causing a problem in people, and their thyroid starts to drop and they don't feel as well. So start at 500 milligrams. The very lowest dose that I've been able to find in taurine in a pill, start at 500 milligrams, and typically within 1 to 3 days, people will start experiencing the difference while they soak because that taurine is helping them hold it in the cell. There's some things about stage 1. Stage 2, you've been soaking in magnesium for, not at least a minimum of a month. And not that you've soaked every day, but you've been soaking for a while and your body starts to build a trust bank. And it starts to trust the fact that you're giving it enough magnesium that it doesn't have to grab onto it and drop other nutrients and make sure it has the magnesium that it needs, because magnesium activates everything. It's the first step. If your vitamin D is low, we know your magnesium's low because it doesn't get low without not enough magnesium. So magnesium is what connects all of the processes. It doesn't heal everything. And I am not insinuating that you soak in magnesium and everything is healed. It starts the process to heal everything. It starts the process of voltage for ATP energy in the cell to build that little engine machine. That ATP energy, you need adequate magnesium. And so stage 2 is about building that trust factor with your body and your body not having to go, I've got magnesium. Oh, I don't have enough magnesium. I've got enough magnesium. Oh, I don't. So it's about consistency and building that trust factor with your body. And as this stage starts to happen, here's what I see. And that is typically that person is soaking at night, and because it was so relaxing, and all of a sudden they're soaking and then they're laying in bed and they start getting this creative flow of ideas. Oh, I could do this, or I could focus on this, or, oh, what about this? So magnesium is maximizing their adrenals at this point, and their adrenals are feeling better because your adrenals need to be relaxed so that they can support your body. In fact, any thyroid issue, in my opinion, started with adrenals being overworked. And magnesium has been shown to relax adrenals. When they're relaxed, they can do what they're supposed to do instead of being tightly wound up like this all of the time. And so then they start getting relaxed, and that creativity and idea flow starts to happen. And it leaves you doing this in bed at night instead of sleeping restoratively so you wake up in the morning feeling good. And at that point, you've built that trust bank. Your body is trusting it's got enough magnesium, and processes are starting to kick into gear because your adrenals are calming down and they're starting to do what they're supposed to do and supporting your thyroid and supporting pineal and all of those functions that our adrenals are in charge of. At that point, you need to change the time of your soaking. You need to say, this is making a difference in my sleep. And I want my adrenals to feel relaxed. I want my adrenals to have enough magnesium that they're just absolutely chill, but I don't want to be awake at night. And so you need to move your magnesium up in your day, whether you start soaking in the morning or the early evening, but not right before bed. And you might have to play with that a little bit. It might just be you can soak 2 hours before you go to bed in magnesium and your sleep is okay. Or it might be, I can't soak after 2 o'clock. And this stage doesn't last very long. But if you don't understand it, it can be incredibly frustrating because we're not soaking in magnesium to have disrupted sleep. But if you understand the 3 stages of soaking in magnesium, you understand and can adjust your soaking time accordingly. And so really changing that time and figuring out, how do I make this fit in my life? That's when I started soaking at my desk. So over in the corner, I've got a towel, I've got a big bath towel, I've got a tea towel, I have my container, and water in a pitcher, and my magnesium. I don't even have to go get water to be able to soak in my magnesium under my desk, because that way I can do it earlier in the day. That stage 2 is really about building that trust factor, not stepping back because you got benefits. So, oh, I got benefits, I can back off. That's when, in my opinion, pour it on. Keep soaking. Soak as often as you can, because that is when your body is really, let's see here. That is when your body is really kicking in, and not just relaxation, but jump starting processes in your body in stage 2. Build that trust factor, and you might need to change the time depending on your body. Now, stage 3. Stage 3 is when you have built the trust factor. You're there, baby. Your body trusts you, and it's saying, oh my goodness, thank you for the constant flow of magnesium that you're giving me. This is where nervous system really starts to regulate, and it becomes easier to keep your nervous system regulated. For example, my kids have laughed at me, with me, not in a mean way at me, but my kids have just been like, Mom, because I would see something and be excited, and they would be like, we can't tell if you just saw someone hurt in the middle of the road or if you saw a cute pair of shoes. And haha, family joke. I didn't realize that overreaction and not differentiating between different types, that was a dysregulated nervous system. And my body responded exactly the same way, whether it was joyful or stressful. That's a sign of a dysregulated nervous system. Sleeping like this with your hands is a sign of a dysregulated nervous system. And so that dysregulation becomes easier when you hit stage 3 of soaking in magnesium. You have built the trust factor. You have created systems in a way, or, well, I shouldn't say that. I'm a systems girl. Not everyone has to do it with a system. Systems worked for me, but you've stepped into a pathway in your life that you're giving your body that constant flow of magnesium, and your body is trusting you. And that's when nervous system regulation starts to happen more easily. And for those of you that maybe had rough experiences as a child, like I did, or you grew up not trusting that emotional, mental, physical food was there for you, that nervous system gets dysregulated and overreacts. If you've ever had the thought, oh, I've tried everything and nothing works for me, nervous system dysregulation would be the first place that I would look at, because that third stage, and you can work at it all along, but the third stage is when the memory of the work you're putting in to regulate your nervous system and to retrain your nervous system and restore vagal nerve tone is easier and flows in stage 3. Now, we have about 5 minutes left. I am seeing questions. Oh, Harsh is coming in from YouTube. Welcome, welcome. So she has he or she has a request. I can't see the picture. It's so little, I can't tell. Can you please post a summary of your videos, talks on your website blog? It will be helpful for someone like me who can't catch up alive. Shelley, could you jump in there? I think I think, I think we do that. And I think, or maybe it's on YouTube. And I'll ask Shelley if you're there, and if you can, if you could help me on that question, because we do summaries of things, and so Shelley is going to help us on this one. Great question. I so appreciate you asking it, because you do need to be able to skim it quickly instead of sitting for 30 minutes with me. And don't get me wrong, I love it when people do, and I love the interaction, and I love talking, and I love thinking about it. Yes, oh, we use AI summary generation tools daily. And so I'm just not sure if that gets posted on the my YouTube channel or on my blog. We've had some issues with the blog. I think we got them fixed. And so, Shelley right now they're on YouTube. Now, the reason we weren't putting them on the blog is we were having some issues when we changed from HubSpot to another service, and it just, nightmare issues. And so we were losing things on the blog, but they are on YouTube with that summary. And so check those out. And great idea, though, to do a more captured summary of those instead of just the long form reading the whole thing, to have some bullet points. So Shelley and I'll talk about that, and how can we do this? How can we fit it in? And is this something that we can pull off, and still maintain all the things that need to happen at Living the Good Life Naturally? But so nice to meet you. Thank you so much for the request, and we'll take that into consideration and see how we can make that more efficient. But it definitely is on YouTube with an AI generated script that goes along with. Okay, so let's finish up with, just quickly, do you have to have your red blood cell tested? Your magnesium red blood cell test, not a red blood cell in your CBC, but testing your magnesium levels in your red blood cells. Now remember, your red blood cells mirror your interstitial space, and that's the space around the red blood cells. No, you don't have to. I didn't know about that test and how it could benefit me for years of soaking in magnesium and still getting the benefit. Here's the reason I like to do it, but that doesn't mean you have to do it. Is what you need to do is make your decision and make it strongly. Do I want to invest the time and energy to know where my magnesium levels are? One of the benefits are, some people, their body isn't utilizing the magnesium, and so they're soaking in magnesium, but they're not moving their numbers, which means your soaking is not giving you very much benefit, which is a waste of time, energy, and money. Oh, I don't like that. And so soaking can show you, after that 30-day challenge, soaking can show you if your numbers in your interstitial space are moving, because that's the end goal of magnesium, is not just a band-aid approach like an oral pill or flakes. Yes, you get benefit from those, but they're band-aid approaches. We're working on core foundational pieces to build our health on, and knowing that number will help you know, after 30 days of soaking, are my numbers minimum above 5? If you do the 30-day challenge and your numbers are below 5, we need to talk, because there's something, and I just call it a crack in your foundation, and think of that crack leaking your magnesium. And so then we need to go in and do some sleuthing, and that would be a great topic that we could, what do I do? In fact, let me write that down right now, because I think that would be a topic for next Wednesday's live, is what do I do if I test? Well, let me know. Do you think that would be a good topic? Would that help you if we talked about what to do if you test and your numbers are under 5, and be impressed with me right now because I'm writing without looking. I hope I can read it. Oh, I can. I can. It's not awesome, but I can read it. So when the other thing that you can do with your testing, because there's pathways on testing, you can test just to make sure your numbers are moving, but then you can test a second time to determine how often you need to soak. And that could be another live too on how to do that. My goal today is to help you understand the 3 stages of soaking. For 25 years, I've just loved being a part of people's journey and guiding them with what I've learned and giving some input, them inviting me to be on their board of directors when it comes to their health. And I'd love to be on your board of directors. Shelley, would you throw the link where people can work with me one-on-one if you really would like to individualize and find out exactly, ask very specific questions, and we can dive deep to make sure that your foundation is strong. And building that strong foundation means you're not chasing symptoms. It means you don't have a cupboard full of supplements that you can't remember why you bought them or why you're even taking them. You know that your foundation is strong, your voltage is set into place, and you've created that foundation, and then determine, okay, where's my thyroid function? Where's my iron panel? Where do I need to go now to make sure I'm building on top of a strong foundation? 3 stages of soaking, a little bit different journey, but very common things that come up during that journey of the 3 stages of soaking in magnesium. Thank you so much for joining me. If you want to be a part of my masterclass that I do monthly-ish, I miss every once in a while, but monthly-ish, that is recorded and sent to you as a transcript. I do those once a month, typically on the first Monday at 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. And then those that are a part of the Good Journal, they get that summary and that transcript of what we talked about. And I'd love to have you join for that. If you'd like to work with me one-on-one, I'd love that. My goal today is that you understand more efficiently what happens when you're soaking in magnesium, because after 25 years and watching thousands of women on the journey and taking notes, I've discovered magnesium will shine the light on what your body is missing that helps make your journey faster, more efficient, and easier. And I like all those words. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you on Monday for our next magnesium moment right here on social media. Bye, guys. Oh, I love that. Barbara and Linda and Kathy. Okay, now I need to know. I have to manually scroll the comments from the software that I'm using to stream to multiple sites. So Linda and Barbara and Kathy, can you tell me which topic? I talked about a couple. Was it the mast cell and histamine as it relates to hormone imbalance, migraines, and gut function, and the role magnesium plays? Because a question came in right before I went live, and I was like, oh, this is a great topic. Was it that one, or was it how to what to do to determine if you don't hit a 5 on your magnesium red blood cell? And there was a third one. And I'm going to wait just a second, and I'm hoping that Linda and Barbara and Kathy are still on, because I can't connect your answer to what I was specifically talking about. And my goal is, I don't like it when I just think, oh, I'm going to talk about this today. I really like to know someone wanted that information and it's helping someone, and it's just more meaningful. And I don't want it to be a waste of your time or my time. Oh, Kathy. Oh, Determine if you didn't hit a 5 on the MAG test. You got it. It is on the list, and that will be our topic. Oh, Kathy, and I think I said a different name. I apologize. Kathy, definitely. I will hit that one. Thank you so much for letting me know. Leave a comment, share with me what was your most powerful takeaway from our time together today. And that helps me and guides me to what our next topic needs to be. Linda, oh, all of them. But oh, again, if you didn't hit that goal of at least a 5, next, you know what? Let's go ahead and do that on Monday. So Monday's topic, I'm writing this down again. Monday's topic will be if you didn't hit a 5 on your magnesium red blood cell, it means you've got a crack in your foundation. And I'd love to share with you the different things that I've seen work over the years to help fill the gap to make sure that you can build a foundation strong. Thank you so very much for that feedback. Have a wonderful day. I'm headed out to go water flowers, spend a little bit of time with them barefoot so I can get that good grounding from the earth. Because remember, it's an electromagnet. And we get benefits, and it builds our negative ions and helps us feel better and reduces our stress. So I'm headed out. I hope you get some sunshine today too. Bye.